Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner. Welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have the great pleasure of meeting with Jim Benton, who's the new CEO of Chorus.ai. Welcome, Jim.
Yeah, thanks, Gerhard. Great to be here.
How do you feel taking over a role during the COVID crisis where you haven't been at the office yet?
It is unique. It's different than what I expected. Although, as you remember my days starting Clearside before, we started that March 9th of 09, 3 days after the market bottomed out at 6,500. So seen this playbook a little bit before.
So what is your vision for Chorus at this point?
The magic is that we live in the moment of the conversation. And I think that is where we get to solve problems in this world. I think my optimism comes from on the sales side. We constantly get a front row seat to what are the biggest problems that customers have. Where do they need our help? How can our amazing solutions that all of us collectively have, find a way to help others to be successful? And so what brought me into Chorus is the magic of we live there. We're the only person on this call right now that understands what's really happening and can bring two things. How do we make sure that the best of a company can show up in these environments? The best of our training, the best of our innovation. And two, what do we learn in these environments that we can bring back to the rest of our company to improve the product and the messaging and our ability to solve these problems?
For those in the audience that wonder what does Chorus do, essentially you have an AI solution that elevates the conversation with the customer. Tell us a little bit more about that.
We have a native Zoom integration. So we plug into your meetings, your phone calls, and now your email. And we can capture and deeply understand what's happening in these interactions. And then the second part of what we do is think about it like Waze. Waze is a connected network where if I'm driving on the road before you, I'm giving you intelligence and I'm helping you become a better driver behind me. I'm flagging potholes, my patterns, and what I'm doing to be successful to get from point A to point B is helping others to be successful. And that's the key part about Chorus is that we're built on our architecture is a coaching network where the more that we tie into interactions and understand the behavior of what drives closed won deals, what drives success in these interactions, the more that we can do scaled coaching for everybody else within the organization, as well as that network expands across all of our customers. We're training the deepest set of AI in the sales intelligence space. People always say, we just want to know what are the top reps doing? How are they doing it? Why is it so effective? And how can we share those behaviors with other people in the team? And I think because we tie into the CRM and can understand the deal process, not only the velocity of a deal and the sentiment of these conversations, but is it progressing in the right stages? Is it going closed won or closed lost? And how do we track those behaviors that lead to closed won and then start to surface these moments to other reps in the team and say, this is someone that did it very well in this type of situation, and you can learn from them.
How is that best practice now delivered to the salesperson, either during the call or after the call?
So after the call, the sales rep is getting a coaching highlights area. Things to look at, how long was their talk time? What type of filler words are we using? There's a built-in coaching where we can build it off of our scorecard. So if you have different methodologies, Sandler, force management, winning by design, we can build that in so that leaders can come in and coach on those and coach down to specific timestamps. And that's critical because if you can get into a specific moment of a call, at minute 18, I thought you did this really well telling a story. And we know that stories lead to closed won. That's training the AI set. That is like going to Waze and saying, hey, here's something to know about behind you. And so we're getting these great leaders across these companies to help train the set of AI that's helping their teams and overall just, creating one of the best training sets of data.
It's available in how many languages now?
5 languages now. So yeah, we just rolled out several languages just in the last few months.
A number of people, I imagine, in the audience that are wondering about integration. So you mentioned Zoom. What about Salesforce? What about CRM integrations?
Yeah, it's a big aspect of the vision is being the most connected conversation intelligence platform. So very deeply connected into Salesforce. It's a very seamless integration. So as you're looking at the conversations, being able to bring that data back to Salesforce is a key use case for customers. And I think it's funny how we get comments from our customers talking about just the ability to have clean handoffs, especially right now we're seeing in the market as companies unfortunately have had to do layoffs and furloughs of employees. Those customer relationships still need to be managed. And if the people that did those first calls aren't there anymore, how do we have continuity of those relationships? And how do we have clean handoffs? And that's where having the ability to look at past recordings and do that at scale through looking at key topics, that's important. That lives in Salesforce, and our ability to kind of beautifully tie the two together is super important.
What are some of the other usage scenarios for the Chorus.ai solution besides a sales conversation?
Yeah, I think across the go-to-market function, we see a lot of unique use cases: customer success, solutions engineers, product marketing getting closer as well. I think the other aspect is just going beyond the live conversation as we tap into emails, which is an area that we've recently brought into the product. There's many types of interactions that we want to tap into that would help you deeply understand what's happening with the customer. We want to understand the interactions. We want to make sure each interaction counts and provide that level of coaching and intelligence tied to the full spectrum of interactions. I think that's a key opportunity as we go forward.
So what about your own events? When is your next event that people should pay attention to?
I do a daily briefing right now, every morning at 8:35 a.m. I'll be back on tomorrow morning, and then we post our findings in the data in LinkedIn so that people can find it, as well as on our blog.
So people should follow you on LinkedIn, and they should also go to Chorus.ai. And I want to thank you for taking the time today to be human, to share with us your perspective on not just on the world, but also on the product, and also on the shift that we are all experiencing in selling that I think brings us to a higher level of professionalism and a higher level of productivity.
Thanks for having me today, and thanks for sharing this with the community.